Recognition is not enough. To see the divide, to understand the purpose, to acknowledge the decline, these are only the beginning. Because Freemasonry is not restored through agreement, it is restored through action. Deliberate, consistent, uncompromising action. And that action begins with the standard, not spoken, lived. A man who claims the craft must present himself accordingly, not for vanity, not for comparison, but for reverence. There was a time when a man required no reminder to dress with intention. He understood that certain places demanded more of him. Freemasonry is one of those places. A lodge that permits casualness invites it, and once invited it spreads, quietly, until the exceptional becomes the unusual, and the ordinary becomes the norm. This must be reversed, not through enforcement, through expectation. A man arrives in proper attire not because he is told to, but because he understands where he is, because he respects what he is part of, because he recognizes that he represents it. This is where restoration begins, not in words, in presentation. From there the structure must follow. The lodge night must be corrected, not extended, ordered. The meeting comes first, efficient, purposeful, without excess, without delay, because the meeting is not the destination, it is the threshold. Then the brethren eat, not hurried, not incidental, a proper meal, shared among men who have prepared themselves to be present. This is fellowship, not casual, intentional, and then the evening continues, not as an extension of obligation, but as an elevation of experience. The setting changes, the formality softens, but the standard remains. This is where men are left to govern themselves, not supervised or restricted, but trusted, because a man who has been properly admitted and properly formed does not require control. He requires space. Space to think, to speak, to reflect, to engage with other men as equals, not in appearance alone, but in discipline. This is where conversation deepens, where ideas are exchanged, where philosophy is explored, not as theory, but as lived experience. And within this setting, a man may choose to partake, not excessively or carelessly, but deliberately. A glass of whiskey, a measure of scotch, a pour of bourbon, not as indulgence, but as tradition. A cigar, a pipe, a refined tobacco, not as habit, but as occasion. Because this evening is not ordinary, it is set apart, and what occurs within it should reflect that. This is not recklessness, it is restraint. Men governing themselves, holding their passions within due bounds, demonstrating without being told that they are capable of discipline. This is what the modern lodge has forgotten. Not how to gather, but how to conduct itself once gathered. Because restoration is not found in eliminating fellowship, it is found in refining it, elevating it, giving it purpose, so that when a man leaves, he does not leave empty. He leaves having gained something he cannot find elsewhere, something that calls him back, not out of habit, but out of pursuit. This is the restoration, not dramatic or loud, but unmistakable. A return to standard, a return to structure, a return to the man. And once restored, it must be maintained, because what is not upheld will fade, and what fades will be replaced. The choice is not whether change will occur, it is whether that change will be directed or allowed.